my audio working? Great. I'm gonna talk normally now and not like a dipshit. And hopefully
When were
that
you not
works.
talking normally?
When I was shouting, or were you saying that
Well,
I
I
always
was
talk
trying to
like a
make a
dipshit?
joke,
Because
but
that's probably true.
it didn't work, so.
Oh. I always. What do you mean? I always talk
Hello?
normally.
Hello?
Oh God, I can.
I
Jennifer,
was just making sure it was coming
Jennifer,
through
you need
the
to stop that.
microphone.
Your waves are unbelievable.
It is.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, look at those waves. My waves are not nearly as big as
I
your
think our waves
guys's,
are the
and
same
that makes me
size.
feel a little inadequate.
Yeah, your waves look plenty big. Your waves look bigger than my waves.
Your spikes look quite. I mean, from my end, your waves look much larger, and I feel a little
I have some
insecure
pretty.
and might have to not
Why
do the
can't I see you,
podcast anymore.
Taylor?
I can see both of you.
I just have a TB.
What's going on? Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, my headphones quit connecting for some reason.
Complications.
We're really killing that technical game right now.
Okay, I'm just on normal MacBook audio. I'm gonna take my headphones off. This is ridiculous. As
Okay.
long as nobody else can hear me. Oh, Jen has. Oh, there you are.
Can you see him now?
No.
Can you only see one person at a time on your phone?
No, because you're on the top half, he's on the bottom half, but his just is a circle with the letters TB in the middle.
Oh, well, I can see me. Brooke, can you see me? Can you see this beautiful, ugly face?
I could see both of you. Now I don't see Jen.
Yeah, now I don't see Jen either.
There we go.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm here.
She fixed it.
Your husband. The man you chose to marry. I want to make that very clear. You said yes.
Ew.
Wait. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. I think that's the general feeling is when people are like, "You married who? You. Not great."
Anyways.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Hi.
To Cardboard Empire. I am your host, Taylor Booty, and with me are two special guests, Brooke and Jennifer. How are you two today?
Have you been thinking about that all week?
I have been thinking about taking over your podcast all week so I can talk about this wonderful, wonderful film.
Does it bother you that we don't do what you just did? Because that seemed pretty aggressive.
Was that over the aggressive?
That was his teacher voice.
Well, I assume there's going to be like the normal bullshit lead up into it. Not that it's bullshit. I mean like your normal bullshitting. No. I mean like your normal bullshitting leading into talking about the movie.
Wow.
I wish podcast displayed faces, because mine is saying something to you, Taylor.
I can tell. You can all feel that way. I will feel, content in my own being right now.
Masculinity.
I am very content.
Welcome to Cardboard Empire.
Hi, I'm Taylor. I'm the special guest this week. Whether or not Jen edits out the
I'm Jen.
We'll find out.
I'm Jen, one of the co-founders of Cardboard Empire.
Arguably the singular founder. I'm Brooke. I'm not sure why we're saying our names, because we've never done that before, but hi.
We always say our names, just not this professionally.
Oh, should I? Hello, I am Brooke. Technically, I guess a co-founder, but more just like the other part.
You're the actual real glue that keeps us together, Brooke.
Alright, well, let's not go that far. That's a lot of pressure.
Well, I just, okay, fine. Pays you a compliment, that's okay.
We're not good with those.
Yeah, I know, clearly. Someone says something nice about me, how fucking dare they?
Who do they think they are?
This is ridiculous. I'm not a good person. Stop. I am.
Ew, David.
I mostly just respond with a, oh, okay. Yeah.
We watched Rumble in the Bronx today.
Boy, did we. Booty and I did. Taylor and I
Yeah.
did. I don't know if Jen can
That's
say
what-
she
we
watched
We
it.
should probably clarify, what is my name?
My face was pointed towards the screen. My eyes were open.
Yeah.
That's right. But I do want to go back
Not-
to, what is my name on this podcast? I think I've heard it both ways now, and we need to clarify this.
It's your name. It's up to you.
Yeah.
I mean, am I Taylor or Boot? Brooke, what do you generally... I think you call me Booty.
I used to, but ever since you guys got married, I've been trying to call you Taylor.
Why, though? That's weird to me.
I think because Jen started calling you Taylor more.
I've always called him Taylor.
I don't know. What do you want me to call you? I'm just trying to be respectful.
I just want you to call me what feels comfortable.
Call me by your name.
Yeah, call me Brooke.
Ooh. Okay.
And I'll call you by yours. I'll call me by your name, and I'll call you by mine.
That's going to be way too confusing. We've established, like, that's not going to work. Jen's holding a lava lamp right now to all the listeners. And
I'm pretty sure this lava lamp I ordered is faulty.
Do you think it's because you keep picking it up and jiggling it around?
No.
I don't
why
think you're
would I
supposed
ever
to do
think
that.
that?
I was Googling tips on how to fix a lava lamp, and that was one of the things. I think it's because I let it run too long.
Maybe you're only supposed to do like 90 minutes at a time, aren't you?
No, it says you can go like 8 hours.
You went longer than 8 hours?
No, I don't. When did you do that?
I do that often.
But I don't see that. Like, when do you turn it on, though? It's only at night, and then, I don't know.
And sometimes in the mornings and during the day.
And then also into the nighttime.
That's our electric bill, because the lava lamp is just sucking electricity.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna call you Taylor. I'm gonna work on
We
just
circled
being
back. I'm glad we
consistent with
established
Taylor.
this. I am Taylor. Sometimes called Booty. But not today.
Sometimes called Fati.
Well, Fati. But, you know.
Fati.
Fati. Hard F.
Fati.
There you go.
Fati. It's a daddy in German.
Brooke's now leaving. Oh, Brooke's left. She's gone. We've done it. We've made her so uncomfortable. The thought of
That's
me,
not possible.
Yeah, exactly. The thought of me being called daddy.
She is blushing, though.
And I like that. You know, Brooke, you've never said too terribly mean things to me, like vis-a-vis, that sort of thing. So.
What?
Oh no, I was thinking of a different story that we don't have to recount here, of my unattractiveness and someone remarking upon it.
Oh, I don't think that.
Who said you're ugly?
Do you not remember?
Who do we need to
Do you not
have
remember the
words
remark
with?
on one hike about me causing the dryness of the River
Oh.
Valley?
Yeah. Yeah, when she looks at you, she dries up.
Yes, exactly, like a desert.
Did I say that?
No, you did not.
No.
Okay.
No,
All
I-
right. Cool. Then Okay. Whew. I was
Brooke's
gonna
like,
give you.
no, it's the opposite.
I don't know. That's weird. We don't. So wait, do we go talk about the movie now? What happens? How long does this bullshitting last? Keep going?
Does it need to be timed?
I guess not. I don't know. I feel.
Do you have places to be?
I fucking what? No. Yeah.
Stay at home. Stay safe.
Tomorrow I have to go buy you and me food once because it's Saturday.
Yeah. Weekends is Nunzio's
It's
time.
Nunzio's time, which for us means we go buy Doug's.
We get 3 days this weekend, guys.
God, I know.
Jen too.
I guess
Not that it really matters.
Yeah, I found out today too. I also have Monday off, which also doesn't affect me a whole lot, except that I get to attempt to sleep in more on Monday. It won't happen because we own a cat who's an asshole.
Look, It's not Frank's fault.
Don't talk about my son like that.
Yours, yeah. This is the equivalent of being like, your son is a dickhead right around 4:30 to 5 in the morning. Cries like a little baby right next to my head. And I could fall back asleep, but I know you can't. So
Yeah.
I try to do something, whether that's putting my leg on the floor, whether that's bringing Frank into bed, whether that's going and sleeping on the couch. Like, I've done something wrong. Every time I go out there, I'm like, did I do something wrong? Why do I deserve this? Why am I sleeping on the couch? What's happening right now?
It's your choice.
Yeah, but then you get to sleep more. Like, I do it for you.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. If you've already awake, yeah, if you've already awake. I can't fucking talk. This is going to be a nightmare to edit. Who knows what my mouth noises sound like? I can't.
Nothing. I hear no mouth noises.
Yeah. But Brooke, you just had like 5 in a row.
Did I?
Yeah.
Is this better?
Well, now you're a little quieter. Well, Jen just had that, have a coughing fit, so who knows?
Yeah.
This is a nightmare to edit right now. Jen's going to be like going through this.
It's not.
She's not
It's
going to
not-
edit this.
Yeah,
No.
guys, this Skype call for me is at 13 fucking minutes of just bullshit so far. Like,
Well, you can start talking about the movie at any time.
okay, Rumble in
Yeah,
the Bronx
but
is
you're the
fucking
guest.
great.
So you're the guest, so you have to give the synopsis. That's how we lead into it.
Okay. Today on Cardboard Empire, we watched Rumble in the Bronx.
What's Rumble in the Bronx about? Will you tell me?
Rumble in the Bronx is about a guy named Keung, I think was his name.
Hold on. Are you doing this from your brain, or are you reading this from Google?
I'm going from my notes that I don't have with me,
Because-
apparently. I have to go get that.
We only do the Google
We're just gonna do this straight from my head. It's about a guy named Keung. I'll pull it here. If it makes you feel better, I will pull up a summary. Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, I just pulled one up too.
Okay, so it's about Jackie Chan, aka Keung, who is the nephew of...
That's not what I have on Google.
Okay, Keung goes to New York with his uncle Bill, I think was his name. And
Yeah, it says on Google.
okay, Uncle Bill owns a supermarket. He owns a grocery store in the Bronx. This doesn't matter a whole lot because Uncle Bill fucking disappears within 10 seconds of the flake. You show up, doesn't matter. Jackie Chan arrives in New York to visit his uncle, who's going to get married, and his uncle is in the process of selling this supermarket. And his uncle does so, and then Jackie Chan ends up in the middle of a gang war between a bunch of warriors-ass fucking gangs. And there's some diamonds involved. And I'm going to be honest, eventually the police are there, but it ends with this great, fucking, air speedboat chase and a Lamborghini awesome. And you two didn't enjoy it at all, and I don't know how that description doesn't sell you alone on this movie. Jackie Chan shows up, fights a bunch of fucking clowns, gang clowns from the Warriors, and then, ends up saving some diamonds from a different gang in a fucking airboat speed chase thing, and it's great. It's awesome.
Should I read the Google synopsis now?
That?
Hong Kong policeman Kuang
He's a police
arrives in New York for the wedding of his uncle Bill, a grocer who recently sold his Bronx store to the fetching Elaine. After a biker gang bursts into the store to wreak havoc, Kuang springs into action, giving up his vacation to defend the weak and protect the innocent with his extraordinary martial arts skills. As Kuang investigates local gangs, he learns more about a criminal syndicate that needs to be brought to justice. Release date February 23rd, 1996. Director Stanley Tong. Budget $7.5 million. Box office $76 million.
7.5
Can
million.
you guys
That's
see
crazy.
this?
Yeah, you cried.
I laughed so hard I cried.
Yeah, because I'm funny. I don't know if you knew this.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I
You're
know.
right.
Yeah.
To be fair, I liked my summary a whole lot more.
Yeah, well, you didn't include that. He was a
I
policeman.
didn't know he
I
was a
didn't even know
policeman.
that.
He was a policeman.
That's because they never said it once.
They might
No,
have
I
at
don't
the
think they did.
beginning. I don't, but man, I totally missed that. So that I don't know if that changes anything really. It doesn't matter to me a whole lot, but I guess it makes more sense why he goes off to like save people.
It doesn't, but
Maybe it does explain his buffness.
Well, he's Jackie Chan. Man is still fine.
I mean, yeah, the actor is, but like lore-wise in this movie,
Why are you worried about lore in a movie called Rumble in the Bronx that's about one Chinese cop
we
beating the shit out of a bunch of warriors ass clown dudes?
why do you keep calling them warriors?
You've seen the movie The Warriors, haven't you?
No.
Oh,
What's the Warriors?
The Warriors is about a bunch of like very funny looking New York gangs fighting each other, and one gang has to get back home. It's very good, but there's like a clown gang, there's like a baseball gang, who might also be the clown gang now that I think about it.
Is this also a kung fu movie?
No, this is a movie you, Jen, would actually like.
Are you sure about
I
that?
am actually. Like, I think you would enjoy this movie.
Okay.
Unlike this one, which is great.
Is it like Gangs of New York?
No, this is like real, very goofy gangs have a meeting.
So it is Gangs of New York.
No, I can't. We didn't watch The Warriors. I don't think it's on the list. We don't need to worry about it. Point being, Jackie Chan kicks ass and
takes
names, and this movie, like all of those parts of this movie, are great.
How so?
Did you see the fight scenes? Did you see the stunts? Like the whole ending credits was just like.
I was just more so asking a question for you to keep talking about the movie because you said you wanted to do that.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So let's go back to the beginning.
A leading question.
Jackie Chan arrives in New York to meet his uncle, who owns a grocery store, who's selling it to apparently the fetching Elaine. I didn't know that was the official summary.
I feel like that was the least relevant part of this entire story.
Right, but then from there, I will say, it gets slightly it gets actually fairly complicated all of a sudden, because Jackie Chan has to stop a bike race thing between two different gangs and protect the
dirt bike gangs.
Well, they're like biker gangs.
Dirt bike gangs. That's important.
Okay.
That booming dirt bike scene in the Bronx, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's great. It's very real to life. Just like the mountains in the background that you can see, that totally, you can absolutely see.
I never saw mountains.
Well, you didn't look at the TV the most of the time. So.
Yeah, to be fair.
Did you see mountains?
No.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
It's not just me.
Anyway, Jackie Chan's uncle sells his supermarket and goes on a honeymoon in a matching shirt with his new wife, and it's very cute and funny.
Is it?
I thought it was. Slightly before this, I guess, is the bicycle race. That's
a song.
Slightly before this is a bicycle race?
Yeah, well,
the dirt bike race.
The dirt bike race,
on top of the cars.
Right? So two gangs show up.
We're still only
it's
there.
It's $1,000 bet, and they have to race down and back on the street while driving over a bunch of cars, one of which has been loaned to Jackie Chan's uncle. So he goes out to protect.
Why was it loaned to him again?
What?
Why was the car loaned to him?
For the wedding, I guess. It was just really like a fancy car to like pick his wife up and take them to the wedding, I think.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't catch that.
So Jackie Chan jumps out a window in his great onesie.
It's like wrestling sling.
Yeah, exactly. It's awesome. It's great. Great costume.
But it was made of like long underwear material.
Yeah, it's awesome. And So Jackie Chan stops this car from being driven over by a biker, but then she loses the race, so she loses $1,000, and the gang she's involved with is very upset. But they all have to run away because the police show up and disappear. Anyway.
Although I don't know why they're running from the police. It's not like the police ever do a great job in this movie.
Well, that's because...
That's why they got away.
Yeah, that's it, you know. Those New York cops, man, you know. You know why?
Real tough.
I won't say that, actually.
2,000 years later.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. I went there.
Might have to edit that one out.
We'll find out, I guess. Jen has all the editing power. There's multiple times during these podcasts where it's very funny, Brooke, to hear you go, I'm sure Jen will edit this out, or please edit this out. And it never is. It's always there. You get
specifically the last one where I sounded like a total idiot, and then I was like, Jen, please edit that out, and she just didn't. She just left it out.
Brooke, you have veto power. Like, I want you to know. You can be like, no, don't put that up.
Well, she knows. I send them to her every
That's
time.
what I'm saying. Yeah. Is she gets to hear them before me.
She just always says they're good.
Yeah, it was fine. I'm not going to make you do more work just because I sounded like a dum-dum.
It's good comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
So anyway, Jackie Chan, a.k.a. Kaeung's uncle, gets married, goes on honeymoon, and Jackie Chan gets to stay in his apartment for the week, I guess, and goes to his old grocery store with the new owner, Elaine, and a gang shows up, local biker gang, who start stealing stuff and, you know, just causing general mayhem, and Jackie Chan appears and becomes Jackie Chan for the first time in the movie, really. He just kicks the shit out of them. It's very goofy and funny. It's very physical. Like, the humor, I was laughing a lot in this movie. I want to say that, like, for this, because I know you two weren't laughing a whole lot. And I found the fights, like the actual like fight choreography and things, very funny. Like, I thought the physicality was very good. I thought the stunts and the actual choreography was very good. And like that in itself lended to the humor quite a bit. So he's fighting in a grocery store, throwing people into these, like, the can pyramid that one of Brooke, was it you who pointed out, like, that's a great Pepsi can pyramid?
Yeah, it was, and that was such a waste of a great pyramid. I don't understand why.
And it made it a lot more funny to me that they threw someone into it after you mentioned, like, that's a really good can pyramid. Like, you noticed that, and then it was destroyed later, and I found that very funny.
You found it funny that they crushed my art that I loved?
I mean, it wasn't you didn't build it.
You don't know.
I actually do know, because you would have been... How old? It's 95. I don't think you as an infant or a small child would have been able to build a Pepsi can pyramid.
She was born like 2 weeks before this movie came out.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
No, you said it came out in 96.
95.
Oh, that's right. 95 in, I think, China, but the U.S. premiere was February 96.
Right.
Yeah, I would have been 1 year and a couple weeks old when it came out in the U.S.
I guess we should get into the dub later, because I know you two have thoughts about it. But so that's the first like big fight, and it's great. It's very funny. I think it's like a setup for the rest of this movie as showcases for these sort of like stunt and fight choreography in a way that is very entertaining and humorous and very in line with a lot of what Jackie Chan does in a lot of his other movies.
He makes movies for 8-year-old boys.
And you know what, Jen? At one point, I was an 8-year-old boy.
Yeah.
I thought that the fighting was cool, and I thought that the fighting choreography was really cool and really well done, but I never really felt like it was funny.
Whoa, but like, so in the grocery market, like, right, he like takes his jacket off and like locks that guy's arms behind him. And like everyone's running around, and fucking Antonio, what did you call him, Jen, from Angel? What's his name? Or is that
Spike?
Huh?
Yeah,
Spike from Angel like runs into like this standing pole.
Spike from Buffy.
Oh, Spike from Buffy. Sorry, runs into this pole.
Angel's about Angel.
I'm sorry, I'm not very up to date on my Buffy lore.
Well, get up to date, okay?
How do you? That's different. We're not going to get into that.
How do I enjoy Buffy, but not
yes,
this movie?
Yes, exactly. Like,
there's no overdubbing.
We'll get to that though. Like that's.
I was about to say there's no ridiculous lines.
Yeah. Oh, that's absolute bullshit.
Yeah,
Don't lie to me like that.
That's the whole show.
That's truly a lie. Anyway, Jackie Chan chases this gang out of the grocery store, and later, as a reward, he gets some free groceries. He's heading home, doing fine.
Yeah, that he never takes home.
Yeah.
Well, that's
wastes.
because he sees a woman being assaulted, and being a good person / cop from Hong Kong, apparently, decides to go help her. But that's when you find out it's all a trap by the gang that he previously beat up.
You know, knowing that he was a cop now makes that scene where he's like, I'm the police, and he like faked that, make a lot more sense.
Right, because it seemed practiced, right? Like he knew, he pulled out his wallet and was like holding it up and pretended to reach for a gun.
And I pull out my gun.
Yeah. And then the biker gang shows up. They chase him around. He ends up cornered in an alley. And instead of Antonio, blonde-haired, we'll call him, what do they call that when you get like blonde highlight bullshit Antonio wants to shoot him with a gun. Frosted Tips, that's it. Frosted Tips wants to shoot him with a gun, but Tony, the gang leader, is like, no, I got a better idea. And they dump out a bunch of garbage cans full of like empty liquor bottles. It's great. It's like, wait, where do what's going on? This is stupid. And they have one gang member like squat down and they put bottles on top of this guy and then hit these bottles with a baseball bat at Jackie Chan. So it's just like hitting him with glass shards and things. And it's ridiculous. And they do this for a while. And finally, Antonio's like, let's kill this guy. And then everyone else was like, why would we kill him? Let's fuck with him some more tomorrow. And they disappear. And Antonio's like, oh, this isn't what I thought.
No. They got into a fight with each other.
Yeah, because Antonio wanted to shoot him at the end. He's like, oh, let's finally kill this guy.
But before that, someone got mad, and then a chick ran off, and then the other chick followed her, and then Tony followed that chick, and then that guy followed Tony, and then this other chick went, and then her boyfriend followed him because of something some chick said.
Right, I think she was upset. She was like, we're just toying with this guy now. He's on the ground bleeding. Like, now you're going to shoot him? This seems ridiculous. And
I don't remember any sympathy, but maybe
I don't know either. It was I will say the audio on our movie was weird because all the sound effects were very, very loud. Like anytime a fight was happening, it was very loud, but any dialogue was fairly muted.
Yeah.
Jen, do you have anything to add to the back alley baseball empty bottle scene?
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay.
So Jackie Chan crawls home, apparently, and this is when you find out that his neighbor she's a member of the gang that has just beat him up, and her brother is, what's his name? God. I don't remember his name.
Isn't it like Davy or Danny or
I think
something?
it's Danny.
I think it's Danny.
Danny, yeah. Danny. So Danny lives next door to him with his sister who's part of this gang. And he finds him and is like, oh God, what's happened? And wants to help him. And finds out that this is when things get complicated, where it's like, oh God, this girl who's just part of the group that attacked him has to help him because he's bleeding everywhere from all these glass shards, and spends the night there. And Nancy's her name. So Nancy and Danny are siblings who live across the hall from him for this week or whatever. And
Jen, your mic's making a weird noise.
yeah, I'm hearing.
Was it clicking?
It's like squeaking, kind of. Like staticky, high-pitched noise.
It's gone now. Now it's back.
Now it's back. Now it's
Now
gone.
it's gone. Now it's back.
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 Still here.
Strange Morse code.
Now it's gone.
It's very quiet now.
Okay.
I can still hear a little bit, but I think it's gone. Now it's gone. So anyway,
I was muting it to fart. And then when I unmuted it is when you guys would hear the squeakiness.
well, this is just a lesson to not fart in the middle of a podcast. Be a professional about this.
I thought I was muting the mic.
We don't want to hear that.
No.
Okay, so Jackie Chan has been wounded, but he's back up now. And he doesn't know that Wheelchair Kid is the brother of the girl who's involved.
You can't call him that. Danny. His name is Danny.
It is, but it's an important point that he's in a wheelchair. Like, this is a plot.
Yeah, but you can just say he's in a wheelchair. You don't have to call him Wheelchair Kid.
Yeah.
Sorry, I apologize to Danny that I couldn't recall his name immediately. Danny, who happens to be in a wheelchair, which plays an important role later, is the sibling of Nancy, who's involved with a gang who kicked the shit out of Jackie Chan because he kicked the shit out of them in the grocery store. This is an overly complicated plot for this movie that's mostly like stunt bullshit.
Yes. Agree.
Anyway, he goes back to the supermarket and talks to her. And there's something about like protection money. I can't remember. Now he's like running away. Anyway, he leaves the apartment and the gang encounters him again. They're just on the street. Like Jackie Chan's walking down the street and the gang shows up on motorcycles and begin to chase him.
Dirt bikes.
Dirt bikes. Sorry. I'll be more specific.
It's an important detail.
Okay, why is it an important detail? Hold on. What matters between them being dirt bikes and motorcycles?
Because Go ahead, Jen.
A dirt bike is 100 times more ridiculous than a motorcycle.
Yes.
Okay, fair. This movie is very ridiculous.
If you're like motorcycle gang, I like have a very different image in my head than dirt bike gang.
You're right. This isn't Sons of Anarchy. This is like mid-90s neon colored dirt bike punk.
SLC punks.
Right. It's crazy. And they begin chasing Jackie Chan around. They end up in a parking garage. There's a lot of very good stunts where he's running around and like climbing to different levels of this parking garage on the outside of it. That's great. This is unbelievable. You two don't care at all. You two don't give a shit.
I'm listening to you.
You're balancing.
We're listening
right now.
I can balance a pen on my lip and listen at the same
I
time.
understand that, but I feel a little disrespected. Like, I don't recall this when Callie was on the podcast.
You didn't see us.
Yeah.
I guess.
Same level of respect for both of you. Don't worry.
That's fine.
Also, same level of respect for each other, usually, as well.
Right. They begin chasing him through this parking garage. While this is happening, no, Jackie Chan gets away, but then it cuts to a totally different part of this movie where a different gang who's only they stole a bunch of diamonds, apparently. They stole a bunch of diamonds that are worth $7 million and then go to sell them. This deal goes bad and they have to escape. they crash into a building where one of the members of said dirt bike gang is there, who finds the diamonds that they stole, and then they begin to run away.
It's the Antonio guy.
Yeah, it's Antonio. It's Frosted Tips dipshit, right? Like, Frosted Tips.
Is his name Antonio?
It's Antonio. I do remember that. His name is Antonio. Frosted Tips is how I want to. No, Angelo.
I was gonna say
Angelo.
They can't have an Antonio and a Tony.
But it's Angelo. I apologize.
It is Angelo.
Angelo finds the diamonds from this wounded other gang and is running through a building that Jackie Chan and Danny happen to be going through as well. Angelo.
The other gang, I have a note to make about this other gang. They kind of reminded me of like the mafia.
The suit people. Yeah, the suit people feel very professional. They have like real guns and are all in suits.
Well, I don't know if they're real because they sound like laser beams.
Yeah, but that's for effect. It just adds to the ridiculousness and greatness of this movie.
Yeah, I was more so getting like Agent Cody Banks vibes from them.
That's a real deep pull.
Like hammer on head on the nail.
Head on the hammer that hits a nail, Jen. Great. Anyway,
that's you got it.
I mean, the real important part is somehow biker gang.
There was an important part to this movie.
There was, because I was paying attention. Angelo,
so was I, clearly.
Who is part of the dirt bike gang, finds the bag full of diamonds that are worth $7 million. And as he's trying to escape from the clearly more professional suit-wearing gang, stuffs everything into Danny's wheelchair cushion and runs away. He tries to keep hiding. Jackie Chan doesn't know this. He's hiding with Danny in a different room and goes out and grabs the cushion and gets Danny back home. But they don't know that he's now literally sitting on $7 million worth of diamonds. This then escalates further. It takes a while, right? Where
is Mara shouting?
No, that's children outside. Can you hear them?
I can. Could you tell them to be more respectful?
Would you go open your window and tell those kids to shut the fuck up?
You thought that was Mara?
I didn't know who. I can't hear what it is. I just hear loud voices. I didn't know if she was shouting at you to get your attention, or if she was talking to Oliver, or if she was singing.
No, it's just the children outside playing.
Mm.
Okay.
Should we take care of them?
No.
That's very much in line with this movie, considering where we're going.
Is it?
Yeah, because they beat the shit out of Danny.
Barely.
Well, it's okay.
They pushed him.
This is great. No, Danny's awesome because he can materialize.
Danny's annoying and can't act for shit.
Okay, but no, we have to get into that when we talk about the dub, because I think that's a fun.
Oh my god, how long are you going to talk about the movie for?
Okay, I will try to be quick from here. Give me a second, and don't.
I've given you plenty.
Okay. Danny's sea cushion is now filled with $7 million worth of diamonds. This other gang starts investigating. They lie to Jackie Chan and say they're the FBI. There's a weird subplot where the biker gang goes to the grocery store and destroy it, and Jackie Chan gets pissed. He goes to their rave hideout, and there's a bunch of great stunts and fight choreography in here where Jackie Chan kicks the shit out of all of this biker gang. And they sort of make up, where Tony, the biker gang leader's we'll let him go, blah, blah, blah. But that's when this whole Angelo Diamond situation comes to a head, and they have captured someone from Tony's gang and put him in a wood chipper and sent someone back with garbage bags filled with just like gore, apparently. Then they need to figure all this out because now Jackie Chan and biker gang know about the diamonds, but Jackie Chan thinks he calls the FBI. He's actually calling the mafia gang, and they kidnap Jackie Chan's love interest, Elaine, and Tony.
No, Jackie Chan's love interest was Nancy.
Nancy.
I think it was both of them.
It was weird, right? It's Nancy, the gang member. Nancy, the gang member, Tony, the gang leader, and Jackie Chan end up at a trailer park trying to find Angelo. And this eventually leads to all of them being captured and Jackie Chan having to go back to Nancy's apartment to find Danny, who now has a new seat cushion. Jackie Chan thinks
Courtesy of Nancy.
in the courtesy of Nancy, because she's a good sister.
Is she, though?
She bought him a new seat cushion, and she also strips in a cage that is prowled by a tiger in a different cage. That's a different thing that's not super important, really, but it's a great part of the movie.
Nancy's on a wild ride.
And so Jackie Chan leaves fake FBI / mafia there, and they start to beat up Danny. They beat up Jackie Chan a little bit. Jackie Chan manages to figure out where the diamonds actually are in his old seat cushion and uses Danny's crutch to beat up one guy. The other guy comes out and turns out to be like a James Bond sub-boss where Jackie Chan keeps hitting him and he's like, "Oh, you can't hurt me." And Danny throws him a football helmet and Jackie Chan hits him with that and he's still like, "Oh, you can't hurt me." And then Danny materializes out of fucking nowhere a goddamn heavy wrench and gives it to Jack, like throws it to Jackie, and this guy is like, "Oh God, please don't hit me anymore." It's great. But this is when the mafia gang leader calls one of the members on a cell phone that Jackie answers and says, "You need to give me the diamonds or I'm going to kill your friends." So Jackie Chan secretly gets a hold of the police to go to this meeting. He goes and meets with this mafia gang with a wire, but he gives away that he knows that it's like a sting operation because he says White Tiger, which is the code name or the name of the leader of this mafia group, who then proceed to like take Jackie Chan away. They're going to kill him and the hostages on the orders of White Tiger. Jackie Chan does some kung fu and escapes and chases them. The police are now involved. So mafia gang members hijack what would you call it? I'm trying to think, like an airboat, but it has the flotation thing.
It was a hovercraft.
They hijack a huge hovercraft and attempt to get away with that. A long, very cool chase scene occurs where this hovercraft is on the water and Jackie Chan is water skiing with his feet. Ends up on the beach and on land and is going around. This hovercraft runs over a Lamborghini. Then Jackie Chan hijacks after stealing a serrated sword from an antique shop and takes care of it. They get these gang members and then they fix the hovercraft so Jackie Chan and co can then go take care of White Tiger, and then the movie just ends. Jackie Chan runs over White Tiger on a golf course. He loses all his clothes, and then the movie ends, and it's great.
It was a pretty abrupt ending.
Right.
I did also feel like the chase scene was like 10 minutes too excessive.
Yeah.
I don't believe you. And by that I mean that,
Can you disbelieve an opinion?
I don't know how to
respond
think
to
right.
that.
I would say I really enjoyed it because I think the bulk of this movie is, So I guess I said I would prepare fun facts about this movie, right? To bring it back to it. And I found a review by Roger Ebert back when it came out, who talked about how the plot was basically nonsensical. I'm going to pull up the quote that I had here. Here it is. And Roger Ebert talked about any attempt to defend this movie on rational grounds is futile. Don't tell me about the plot and dialogue. Don't dwell on the acting. The whole point is Jackie Chan, and like Astaire and Rogers, he does what he does better than anybody. There's a physical confidence, a grace, an elegance to the way he moves. There's a humor to the choreography of the fights, which are never too gruesome. He's having fun. If we allow ourselves to get in the right frame of mind, so are we. And I think I agree with Mr. Ebert, famous film reviewer, for the most part, that I enjoy this movie in part because, yes, like, I actually think the plot being ridiculous helps a little bit. Like, it's absolutely insane, and even trying to summarize it is sort of futile. It's just like, there's diamonds and Jackie Chan and a bunch of gangs, and he needs to beat people up to save some people. But it's really fun. Like, I very much enjoy the fight choreography and what he does. I do think it's very funny. Like, I think the actual fight scenes are quite humorous. The way Jackie Chan ends up in, like, sandwiched between things and he's sort of in bad situations, but he gets himself out. Like, it's a very fun sort of like tongue-in-cheek or eye-winky movie that knows that it's ridiculous and knows that it's sort of a vehicle for him to do these incredible stunts. And
I just don't get why we couldn't have had the incredible stunts with the cool choreography in a movie that wasn't ridiculous and was good and had a plot with good acting.
Yeah.
Like, I feel
Fred,
like
Fred Astaire could dance and act.
I feel like there is a space where this movie could have had a sensical plot, and it still would have been way cool, and I would have been more inclined to pay attention to how cool it was, because I wasn't just like, what am I watching?
Right. I mean, I won't defend the plot per se, but I will defend the acting a little bit, considering a lot of the major characters, from my understanding, weren't native English speakers, and
but they weren't speaking English.
No, they weren't. So, to be fair, we watched the dub, which was strange. There's a ton of different versions of this movie with, like, different endings and editing and, like, what's going on. And most people are speaking Cantonese in the film. Like, Jackie Chan, a lot of the major characters are speaking Cantonese that was subtitled into English, but the studio didn't like that, so they wanted dubs, which meant a lot of these people then had to, like, learn English, and it seems like some of them might have learned it phonetically, of just, like, learning the lines to then read and go over everything, which I think hurts it a little bit, but I understand.
A lot of it.
I mean, I enjoy, let's say, B movies quite a bit. So I am fine with that. Like, I am comfortable getting over that and sort of looking past it, because I think a lot of it is more, this was a cheap movie. How much did you say it was made for, Jen? Like, what was the budget?
$7.5 million.
That's pretty cheap if you think about, like, the destruction and the stuff that's going on. I mean, renting stuff and having cars crash into stuff as a showcase for, like, Jackie Chan doing his thing and having it be, to me anyway, extremely entertaining and very funny, and having this plot, whatever you want to call it, meant to string it along and make these things happen.
Alright, so then, Booty, on a scale of 1 to 5, what would you rate this movie in essentialness?
That's hard. I actually wouldn't call it essential at all. Like, I think if you're interested in, like, either Jackie Chan or Kung Fu movies, this is, like, a very good starting point. Like, it's very easy to get into. You don't have to pay. Like, the plot is sort of secondary to what's going on, or to, like, what the movie's trying to do. But if you're not interested in it, let's say maybe like you and Jen, right? it's I mean, I wouldn't recommend this to someone who wasn't like, oh, I like kung fu movies, like I like IP Man, or I saw a Bruce Lee clip and that movie looked really good, and I would be like, oh, then maybe check out Rumble in the Bronx, which is this great '90s like newer kung fu movie that really influenced later stuff that went on. But I would maybe give it a 2, I guess, like a 2 or 3, really, in essentialness. I don't think it's.
That's high.
I know for you it's going to be
For our
high.
podcast, that's pretty high.
But I think essential is like really hard to define. It's very '90s, right? Like the whole wedding is filmed with a fisheye lens, and sort of like
I forgot
going
that there was a
through
wedding in
there.
this.
Like there's a lot of shots that are very music video-y, like very '90s music video, which is sort of like an interesting time capsule, sort of to look back and go like, remember when we thought this was good? Remember when this was a cool thing? And I think if you're interested in, and you don't know a lot about like kung fu movies, the genre, or you want to get into it, this is an interesting and good starting point. But I wouldn't tell someone who's like, I want to be a cinephile, and or like I'm really into like French existential, like very deep character driven movies. Oh, you should go watch.
Okay.
Why are you describing me?
Well, but you're in part
Here's-
this because I would never recommend this movie to you. I wouldn't be like, hey Jen, I really love Rumble in the Bronx. Let's watch it, because I know without a shadow of a doubt that you wouldn't enjoy it, because there's the issues with the dub, and it's sort of hard. It can be
But
hard to find the subtitled one, how to get like to it. But even beyond that, it's very like it's not super deep as far as the characters or plot go. It's meant to be sort of a showcase for the stunts and the action, and I know for certain people that's not as interesting as.
here's my counterpoint to you though, because there's an in between
Right.
between being super interested in kung fu movies and being interested in French existential movies. And I really like action movies, and I think kung fu is really cool. And I enjoyed Shanghai, whatever other movie that was, Jackie Chan movie that I've seen. And I still didn't like this, and I wouldn't recommend this to probably anyone, even if they told me they liked kung fu movies, because it's not really a movie. It's just like, that's what I don't like. I mean, sure, it's a film that was created, but like this didn't feel like a movie to me.
Well, what's it? Okay, so how do you differentiate between film and movie? Because we definitely watched a movie.
I'm like, what I'm saying is like, I get that it's a movie. Like, by definition, this is a movie, but like, there was no story there. It's not something I would ever choose to watch again, because there was no plot. There's nothing for me to like. If I said to a friend, if a friend came up to me and was like, I love action films and I think kung fu's so cool, I would be like,
Watch John Wick.
go to YouTube,
Right.
watch Jackie Chan videos. Don't
Right.
watch this
Like
movie.
this feels like in certain ways like tailor made to like go watch a compilation of all of the fight scenes or the chase scenes, right? Like the rest of it doesn't feel necessary in a certain way.
Maybe because there was no YouTube in 1995, they felt this was their best thing.
I mean, it's a way to get it made. Right?
we gotta add just a dash of plot in order to sell this movie to film companies.
Sure. And
but really, this is just going to be a compilation of my coolest stunts.
right, and I think that in a certain way makes, because Jackie Chan was, I believe, someone can look this up and correct me if I'm wrong or whatever, but I think Jackie Chan was fairly well established in China. Like he'd been making movies for a while. Like he was a star, and this was a way to sort of introduce him to Western audiences and get him there. So something like the Shanghai movies, or whatever he did with Owen Wilson and Chris Tucker, the Rush Hour movies, wouldn't necessarily have happened had Rumble in the Bronx not appeared, which I appreciate because it's influential. It brings this very particular type of like film, because you can watch those and those tend to have a more coherent plot and things happening in them. but I don't think they would happen if you don't have Rumble in the Bronx.
Fair point.
Jen, what would you rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 5 in essential?
Is there less than 1?
1.
Yeah.
We also never rated last week's movie.
Oh, yeah. What is
I
Fight
thought
Club?
we did.
We never rated Fight Club.
Wow. I don't think we needed to. I think we knew, right? Like, I was going to give Fight Club a 5.
That was going to be essential, right? You're going to be like, no, you should
Yeah.
probably see this.
Yeah.
It's important to know and be aware of. But I do think this is easier than... So when I was little, this is going to be a little more personal. When I was little, I can't remember what It was Three Ninjas. Are any of you two aware of...
The Ninja Turtles?
No, not Ninja Turtles. The movies are called Three Ninjas.
Oh, no, there were 4 of those.
Ninja Go?
No, just Ninjago. Three Ninjas. They're terrible.
It was called Three Ninjas?
There's a whole series of them. And me and my brother really loved them. I think it's in part why we really enjoyed like the idea of karate and martial arts. But going from that, I was like, oh, I want to know more about this. So at one point, my dad went and rented me Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee, and I was bored out of my mind as a kid because I couldn't, like, that's a serious movie with real drama and plot, and also Bruce Lee happens to fight in it. But I didn't care about that. I just wanted dumb fight scenes with martial arts. And that's why I think this is easier to recommend to someone who's interested in that way before getting into something like Enter the Dragon, which you guys will have to cover later with Bruce Lee.
I could see this movie being a hit with kids.
Right. Like
I said, 8-year-old boy movie.
Yeah.
Well, or girls. Don't
I
gender
suppose.
profile. 8-year-old Brooke probably wouldn't have minded this so much.
8-year-old Jen would have been disinterested.
Right, but I know me at like 7, 8 or whatever at this age, I would have very much enjoyed this movie because it has some very excellent action, some very excellent stunt choreography, and it's funny in a like physical way that I think even today for some people like getting into that genre of kung fu movies, this isn't a bad starting point or recommendation. But I also don't know that I would call it essential as far as movies as an art form goes. I don't think it's not like pushing boundaries as far as like, wow, the cinematography was great, or wow, this was really cool. It's
maybe stunts.
For stunts, I think it's great. Like this is, I think, makes a great case for something like the Oscars should have a best stunt category, right? Like these people work very hard and do a lot of this dangerous shit. Like a lot of this stuff, multiple people broke legs and major bones filming this because a lot of them were just stunt people who they hired to then be the actors for it and do the stunts on their own. I mean, Jackie Chan is literally water skiing without water skis at one point. You see him practicing it and doing it, which I think is really incredible to some extent. Like that is super impressive. Watching him jump from a building to a different building without any cables, without anything else, is to me extremely great and technical. So I think someone interested in stunts or that side of filmmaking, this is sort of essential. But I think someone who's interested in other aspects of it or wants to get into it would be much less interested in it. And I have now talked a lot, I can tell, because my voice is like feeling different. So
I would also give this movie a 1. I think we've made our points.
How was your weekend, Brooke? How was your week?
I was gonna say my weekend isn't here yet.
Last weekend.
I always ask you first so that I can think about it.
Yeah, well, my how the turntables.
My how the turntables? My how the tables have turned? Is this a reference I'm not getting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Internet more booty.
That's from The Office. Michael Scott, he goes, oh, how the turntables.
Oh,
yeah.
I've seen a lot.
I've never watched The Office, though, so I just know it from memes.
It's also, a really pretty popular meme. But my week was pretty good. I got a pretty cool book from a friend. A pal of mine sent me a coloring book with alcohol, like beverages.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I really like it. We're making 2 beverages from it this weekend.
Good. Is that where your Cosmo or whatever you're making is from?
Yeah, the daiquiris.
Daiquiris. Same
Drink
thing.
refresh. I'll be right back.
Okay.
What? Is Mara cooking?
Yeah, can you hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah. She actually has made taco pizza.
That's
So
fun.
I'm excited to eat some taco pizza. Otherwise, my week was a very busy work week for me this week, so
Gross.
kind of gross in that respect. But
Me too.
I did something funny did happen to me yesterday. So, like a week or so ago, I got an email notification saying that someone somewhere in not America logged into my Evernote account. And I used to use Evernote before OneNote existed in college to take notes, put my passwords and all that stuff on there. So then I changed my password because that was a little concerning. So then I got curious last night, and so I logged into my Evernote app on my phone. And so I used to write stories.
Oh.
So I found all my old stories. So I've been rereading those, and boy, are they just there's some golden stuff in there. I'm going to read you one.
Oh, joy.
I promise you it's short. It's like 2 sentences. So I titled it, Whatever. Actually, I'm just going to send it to you, because I don't know that I should read this aloud on here. I'm just going to send you a screenshot of this, because it's hilarious.
Sorry, guys. She's teasing you.
If you want it, come at me. That was about my week. What did you get up to this week, Jen?
I rewatched The Umbrella Academy.
You did?
I did. And I discovered Yella's Marbles Racing.
You did discover marble racing. Tell me more.
It's wonderful. I'm a Hazers fan. Taylor's supporting the Midnight Wisps.
Go Wisps! Wispy, waspy, waspy, waspy.
One of my bosses is gonna make our team a fantasy bracket for marble racing.
That's great. That's awesome.
And I was like, great, I'll just tune into Jen and I'll be like, Jen, you gotta give me the inside scoop here because I gotta win.
The fucking Hazers. Vote for them. Team Galactic is gonna fall for the curse of hosting this year.
Where can you watch?
YouTube.
Okay. Like live, like YouTube streaming live?
No, they have a channel with all their old videos. The Summer Olympics start on June 21st.
I don't think they do them live because it seems like they'll film a race and then someone does commentary over it, which is great.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I think
Greg Woods.
And then they get someone to like commentate the races, and it's awesome.
Sounds like a real treat.
It is. It's good mindless entertainment. And I think if you're sad that the Olympics got canceled this year, this is a great replacement for that.
This is real sports.
It really is. Like, it's insane how high my anxiety gets while watching these. Because they're just fucking marbles. But they create, like, drama surrounding everything. Like, last summer, the Oceanics fired their coach. And the fans in the stands started rioting and throwing stuff onto the court. Or the track or whatever. And somebody streaked.
There was a Marblehead.
There was a streaker.
I could see Jen doing that.
There's injuries. It's all wonderful. And it's all just marbles.
In more ways than one, figuratively and literally.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess. I don't know what else I did. Just been watching Supernatural, I guess.
Ugh.
There's a lot to get through. It's a lot of seasons,
Yeah. Brooke hates Supernatural.
Yeah.
and I am ambivalent.
You've watched it, though.
Well, I haven't. We watched through, what was it, 26? What was the 2017, 2018?
I don't remember.
Well, we watched through everything through a certain point, and then I haven't kept up with like the last season or maybe 2 seasons, but
How many seasons are
too many.
there?
They're currently on season 15, supposed to be the last season, but their filming got shut down.
Ah, sure.
So it'll have to finish later.
Yeah,
Over 300 episodes.
I've already expressed my opinion on this, so I'll just...
It's not, I mean, as someone who didn't think that they would enjoy it a whole lot, there were parts of it that it has a very fun, campy quality at times, especially like later on after it's very established and they go back to Monster of the Week, because it starts off as like Monster of the Week sort of hunting things, but it's like the show's new and nobody really knows what they're doing a lot. Like it feels like a lot of the time, it's very melodramatic. It's very soap opera-y for a while. And then,
it's great.
It's definitely
but
that.
then they sort of like establish
a single man tear.
Oh my god.
A single man tear.
They have enough episodes and lore that they do like super meta episodes
where they go back and make fun of themselves.
Yeah, and they're fucking great. Like they are extremely funny. I would not recommend like watching Supernatural to someone. I think it has a lot of problems. But if you're like me and Jen, who was like, we have to watch all this, and was like, fine, let's do this. And you get to a point where like I wasn't invested in it, but all of a sudden it was like, oh, like I get some of these jokes, and these meta episodes are great because they like call back to how dumb this fucking show is sometimes. And they go back to like their normal bullshit of like Monster of the Week, and it feels very comforting all of a sudden. Like, I don't know, like you're 7-8 seasons in over the course of, because we were watching with me, so we had to watch it a lot slower, like a month and a half or 2 months. And it felt very odd to go back to like, oh, it's just Sam and Dean, pretty boys, emo boys, back to like finding some monsters and shit. Now they're gonna go to Wizard of Oz land, and Felicia Day is here for some reason, and we have a new base.
She's badass.
It's not good. Like, I would never call it a good quality show, but there are times when it feels very much like, oh, yeah, I feel comforted now. Like, almost.
I should mention that I've seen 6 seasons of this show. It's not like my opinion comes from nothing.
Oh no, I would never put that in your mouth. But yeah, 6 seasons. So you get it then, though, right? Like, it's dumb. It's not.
I hated it. I never enjoyed any minute that I watched it.
Why would you go through 6 seasons then?
Because I was told I had to give it a chance.
Okay, never believe anyone when they say, like, I would not. I've come to the point now where, for me, because you have shows like that where people will say like, oh, it doesn't get good till the middle of season 3, right?
Jen, you just moved the camera and now I can't see you, and I could see you fine before.
No, I moved it here because it's more comfortable for me, but then I had to adjust my bra, so I moved off screen to do that.
Okay.
Anyway.
I know I didn't have to, but I thought it was respectful.
I don't care.
But yeah, Supernatural is to me what The Office and Friends are to other people. It's my comfort show.
Yeah, The Office isn't my comfort show.
No.
Friends isn't my comfort show. Supernatural
Me either.
What's your comfort show, Brooke?
Probably.
Brooke just never finds comfort in her life.
Yeah.
Except in the arms of
had
Mara.
to pick a show, I would say One Tree Hill, but I also haven't watched One Tree Hill in a couple years, so it's not really a comfort show anymore, but it used to be.
And that's also not a good show.
No.
very, very soap opera-y.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know a lot of people's comfort shows that would be considered. Like, I don't know how many people's comfort shows are like, it's The Sopranos or Twin Peaks, right? Like, no one's gonna be like.
No, we're looking for mindless entertainment.
Yeah. When I look for a comfort show, I want to watch soap opera-y shows because personally I want to watch other people's ridiculous drama and tragedy and not think about the real life tragedy.
And Jen says that her comfort show is Supernatural. It's actually That 70s Show.
I have like 12 different super comfort shows depending on my mood.
Yeah, That 70s Show is excellent though, so it's like that. I don't know. That's just a good show.
But I've not.
That 70s Show is my falling asleep show. Whereas Supernatural, I'm still awake when I'm watching it. Supernatural's before bed. That 70s Show is during bed.
Okay.
Which is weird to me because I think I'm like 100% certain I've seen every episode of That 70s Show, but I've only seen it in bits and chunks of like Jen constantly rewatching it over and over again.
I never stop watching that show. It's just on a continuous loop.
We've been together for way over a decade. We started dating, you were into That 70s Show. And even today, you still watch it all like at night and play it. And I know everyone and like I could roughly do the plot, but I have never sat down and watched like a full episode. But I've seen everything.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I had to pick a show that was like Jen encompassed in a show,
it's That 70s Show.
Is it because she's dating Eric Foreman?
Yeah.
All of she's like a piece of Jen comes from all of the characters in That 70s Show.
I just think wasn't it your mom who called me Eric Foreman? Like she said I was Eric, basically.
Maybe. Could have been anybody, though, because you are Eric Foreman.
You are kind of Eric Foreman.
You've even got the hair right now.
I know. Oh, God, I need a haircut so bad.
How was your week, Taylor? What'd you get up to?
Yeah, what'd you get up to?
Oh, God, it was... Well, I worked, and...
Where do you work?
I'm a manny. Well, I have multiple jobs. Like, for the most part, work for me means doing my manny job. I babysit a set of twins every day, 5 days of the week, like the normal work week, for 3-ish hours a day, which is fine. I'm also the TA/grader for Icelandic Sagas right now at CU Boulder, which is...
Ooh, giving away your place of employment.
Well, I think we've discussed Boulder before. I'm the TA grader for a university course. It's here. It's not hard to figure it out.
Icelandic Sagas?
Yep. It's fun.
Tell me more because this sounds terrible.
No, it's fun. It's
hey, that's my people.
Those are German people.
Hey, I took a medieval German literature course in college, and it was one of the worst mistakes I've ever made.
I agree.
I disagree. Did you get to read Parzival?
Yeah, I did get to read Parzival. I hated it.
Parzival's great. Did you get to read the Nibelungenlied?
Yes, I did. I still own them. Both of those books I still own.
You have 2 books for the Nibelungenlied?
No,
okay.
Is that
Parzival
the
and the Nibelungenlied. I did my undergraduate thesis on how Django Unchained is the Nibelungenlied. There's 3 books.
I would be lying if I told you I remembered anything from that.
Oh, just watch Django Unchained, and it's basically the Nibelungenlied. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I'm teaching Icelandic Saga, so it's a...
You're not teaching
Not teaching. I'm TAing/grading. It's normally a 5-week course. It's been condensed to 3 weeks because it's Maymester technically, and that's been... Like, it feels like my grading's very cramped, and I can't give as good or as thorough a feedback as normal because of time constraints. Which is a little frustrating, but it's going fine, and I'm working on 2 different papers right now. Well, I'm working on one paper and then my big paper, as Jen likes to call it, which is my dissertation.
It's your big final
Yeah, it's my
paper.
big final doctor paper. It's just a dissertation. So I worked on those. I was very bummed 2 weeks ago because the paper I was writing, I had notes in a topic and then I read something. Basically, someone wrote the paper that I wanted to write already, which meant I had to I had to throw a bunch of 80% of what I was going to write out. And
But you also said they did a better job than you.
no, it was because it was originally part of his dissertation that he then later published as a paper, which is pretty normal. But it was very explicit and clear, and it was very good. And I hated that I didn't get to write it, and that also I couldn't write it because I'm not that good of a writer. And was very blue for a while. But I have a new topic. I have something that I can do with the book that I'm going to write about that I enjoy a lot, and I'm going to get into. But it was hard to go from that to then remotivating myself to get into it. So in the meantime, my brother bought me Persona 5 Royal, and I've been playing that a lot.
How is that?
It's really fucking dumb, but I enjoy it.
Okay, so I've been considering trying Persona 5.
Right. You like
but I hate JRPGs typically.
Okay. Are we on the video game talk? Because I don't want to exclude Jen. We talked to Sanjay yesterday, and Sanjay and I talked a lot about Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne, and I felt like we...
Just tell me if I should play Persona 5, if I should waste my money on it.
Yes, but okay, before I say yes, does the idea of being a high school student who also goes into the world subconscious to fight demons and summon demons and a bunch of other real anime bullshit sound appealing?
Honestly, a little bit.
A little bit. I would say give it a shot. If you have not played one before, like me, it is extremely complex. I had to look up a specific guide that was do this, this, and this every day, because otherwise you're gonna miss stuff. But that's just me. When I play games, I don't like to miss stuff, and I like to sort of know what I'm doing, and that's been helpful. But I think even just it's basically a high school simulator where you make a bunch of anime-ass friends, and also occasionally have to go fight demons in the world subconscious and steal people's hearts. It's very dumb. It's extremely anime, and I've enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would.
Okay.
It's very horny too, but it's not. But it's also very horny. It's not.
Oh, gross! I'm not gonna play it then.
Well, I don't Yeah, it's very.
I don't need more of that in my
There's
life.
a weird. There's undertones of non-hetero horniness, but you can't act on it ever, and it won't ever come to anything. You're just normal. You're dipshit high school boy, and you can only date girls, even if those girls are drunk, alcoholic journalist adult who you feed information to is someone you can date eventually. But you can't date a boy. Don't think you can do that.
I'm not gonna play it. You talked me out of it.
I think that's fine. I won't hold that against you because it's remarkable how horny it can be, and also literally not acknowledge at all desire beyond you are a high school boy. Which girl are you going to date? Even if girl is your teacher,
or is the protagonist only a
boy?
Yeah, okay. I've played enough games where I'm a boy and can only do boy things.
Yes,
so
you are pretty anime high school boy. Who is also special. You're very special.
What else did you do this week? Did you do anything else this week?
Did we do anything else this week?
I don't think so. I don't know. We went to Popeyes.
Jen had Popeyes for the first time.
Jen, how was your first Popeyes experience? You didn't say it. You didn't follow up, so I didn't.
Incredibly underwhelming.
Yeah. Sorry, pal.
It just means I've had better chicken in my life, and I can't be mad about that.
That's true.
I think for like as far as like fast food fried chicken, it's pretty good. I don't.
Oh, Raising Cane's and KFC is better.
So you think
Yep.
see, because you like I prefer Popeyes, but KFC's close, and that's also much closer to where we live. So
I like their tenders better.
yeah, because there's not a whole lot else you would want. The biscuits were you like the biscuits, didn't you?
The biscuits were fine, but I also like KFC biscuits more.
Oh, see, okay, so
KFC biscuits are pretty good.
Yeah. They're thicker and fluffier. Popeyes were real thin.
dense. I guess mine was.
It was fine. It wasn't bad. KFC's better.
Yeah, I also feel bad that I really wanted that chicken sandwich to be better than Chick-fil-A's, and I don't think it was.
No.
So now I have to feel like, well, but there are better chicken sandwiches than like I'd rather go to like Dark Horse,
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A. So that shitty fucking company.
Yeah, I don't eat there because of that reason.
Same.
Yeah, we don't really either, but I have had it before, and I do think the chicken's pretty like it just sucks because it's like I can say that this is very good and also feel really bad that I've somehow acquired it like it was like provided to me.
It is a bomb-ass spicy chicken sandwich.
Yeah, but there are better bomb ass spicy chicken sandwiches, and that's why we get those and not Chick-fil-A.
I think it also helps we've never really lived close to a Chick-fil-A.
Right. I don't think there's a whole lot more we did. Yeah, I played a lot of Persona 5. It's great. It's really dumb. It's very horny, but in a hetero way. So I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, go do this to everyone. You also basically need fucking spreadsheets to play it. Like you need it's a lot of information to get through it.
How's your Fire Emblem going?
Yeah, Brooke, I heard this. I want to hear what Blue Lions? What are you doing? Blue Lions?
No,
Golden Deer. Fear the
I
Deer.
did Black Eagle first.
How's Fear the Deer going?
Slow. It's a slow process. I've also started playing Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's also great. That's a great game.
Yep. So I'm going back and forth between two long games. Golden Deer, I am not very far in it yet. Like I couldn't even.
Are you
tell
still in like the first 10 chapters where it's the
Yeah.
same as everything else,
Yeah.
right? You just
Yeah.
get different dialogue. Yeah.
Yep. So I don't have a very good answer yet because right now it's the same, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, because I think I was the one who recommended Three Houses to you, right? Do you enjoy it? Do you like
Yep.
Fire Emblem as a game?
Yeah, when I did my first playthrough with Black Eagle House, I liked it a lot. But I was kind of like, okay, well, that was 60 hours of my time. I need a break from this.
Right. No, it's a lot.
But yeah, but now I hadn't played it since, so then I was like, okay, I feel ready to try a different storyline.
Do you feel better about like going into it like knowing the game more now of like, oh, I know how to like turn this, like this person clearly is supposed to be this class or everything else?
I'm not playing on hard. I'm playing on normal.
I do understand normal too.
So-
Like I don't get into it for a lot of the. I mean, I rarely play on hard for a lot of games, but
In my first playthrough, I was never able to advance anyone up into a master class. So I have felt like I've been able to focus more on getting those like random skills up now sooner, so
where
that I
they need to
actually
be.
can and then play
Yeah.
with them.
not every master class is worth it, but it's fun to play with. Oh, Jen, what's wrong?
Frank just about gave me a heart attack.
What did he do?
I'm sitting on my little stool and I feel somebody like tapping me on the back. I'm like, what the fuck?
And your
And
first
it's-
conclusion, obviously, was
I'm being
ghost.
murdered. Yeah. But nope. Just Frank.
Saying, hey, you're on my stool. Excuse me.
I know, buddy. We're almost done. What should we do for dinner tonight, Taylor? Mara, excuse you.
What?
Okay.
I mean,
She's coughing.
oh.
Yeah, she's fine.
I know.
It's crazy that you can hear that.
I can hear everything Mara does.
That's
I'm not
like
gonna tell
all
her
the
that.
time.
No,
You have, like,
more
5
so just
women
today.
in Brooke and Mars home? Because that'd be real weird. I'm worried about that. As your husband, that's not healthy.
I unplugged our camera, so I don't know how you're doing that.
I had my own installed.
That's
Where?
real weird.
Places.
Places? You've never been here.
No, but I have your address and I know people.
You did just mail me a book.
Mhm.
I don't know, Jen. Are we?
So those are those unspoken about Prime benefits.
Yeah, we have an Alexa.
Yeah. Jeff Bezos break into your home.
That suspicious bald man that came and fixed your Wi-Fi one day.
I'm just gonna be paranoid the rest of the night. Nobody comes in here. People don't come fix things. I can fix the internet myself.
Yeah, just don't check your smoke detectors.
We only have one, and it's
Yeah.
in the hallway, and you can't see anything else from it. So
Yes, you can.
I feel like you should have more.
I feel like you should have more
Yeah.
smoke detectors in your
Yeah,
house.
Jen and I had the same thought of like, you need more smoke detectors. Hold on now. Let's get more smoke detectors.
we talked to our landlord about it. It's up to code. We're good.
No. You
Okay.
could still, like, personally have smoke detectors are like $20.
Yeah, I have to go get it.
To be fair, we shouldn't talk because we don't have a whole lot. We were gifted one by the people I manny for once, which was kind of funny.
Were we?
Yeah, they gave us a smoke detector.
But we've already got them all over the house.
I know, but I was like, yeah, because they didn't need it, and they're whenever they don't need something that they have, they like to give it to us.
Yeah.
I would really love to go eat my taco pizza.
Then go do it. Nobody's stopping
Yeah.
you.
Go eat your taco pizza. We'll say bye.
Bye.
Bye. End of podcast.
Bye.
Bye. We'll see you tomorrow.
You know what? Just be excellent to each other. I don't care what you do, but be excellent to each
Be
other.
excellent. Bye, Brooke. We love you.
Be excellent to each other.
Be excellent.
Wow.